Hello all! So I, just like a lot of people, just got done binge watching season 3 of BoJack Horseman. And like a lot of people, I really gotta talk about what happened in the last episode of season 3 of BoJack Horseman. The creators of the show have come out and have stated that Todd, one of the main characters in this show, is asexual. And I have an asexual channel, though I don't talk about it nearly as much as I should. So I thought, I've got to do a video about this. I've got to talk about this. BoJack Horseman, if you haven't seen it before, is a cartoon show on Netflix. The basic plot is it's about BoJack Horseman, a washed-up celebrity that was in a sitcom that went really long. He got really famous, but then the sitcom got canceled, as sitcoms do, and then he could not get any new parts because he became a one-hit wonder and his life kind of just went nowhere. And it's been in a slump for years, and the whole show is about him trying to put his life back together. And sometimes he makes progress and sometimes he falls back, and he's had kind of a rough go, and he's kind of a dick, but he's trying to make the best of things. The show is surprisingly intelligent and has tackled some really huge topics like abortion, online harassment, Hollywood politics, regular politics, and everything in between. And this is just the latest thing they decided to tackle. Todd is one of the main characters in the BoJack Horseman series, and Todd is kind of just this guy that snuck into BoJack Horseman's house one day and literally has no job, literally has no life, and just pretty much feeds off of BoJack Horseman's fridge and just lives in his home doing nothing and just playing with sock puppets all day. He just is the ultimate slacker and will never work if he doesn't have to. Unless it's a crazy high scheme that he's come up with to get loads of random money, he won't do it. He's pretty much a punchline character. He's a butt of a lot of jokes, and he was never really that fleshed out. He's always been a gag character until season 3, which decided to make him asexual and decided to give him a character arc. He starts seeing this woman, Emily, and they start kind of going out. And when I say kind of, I mean kind of. Emily wants a sexual relationship. She tries to make out with him a couple times, and he panics and he pulls away, and he doesn't know why. It just doesn't seem to be working. He seems to be really shy. He's just not seeming to work for him, and he doesn't get it. And he starts to question, why is he not really into this woman? Why is this relationship not really working? And in the last episode of season 3, they sit down, they at a diner, they're having a meal, and Emily just asks, are you into me or are you not into me? And she asks him if he's gay. Like she just flats out asks him, are you into women? And he's like, I'm not gay. I'm not that. And she's like, okay, so you are into women? And he's like, I don't know. And then he just says, I think I'm nothing. And he asks her if that's okay. And she says, yeah, it is. And then he blows $8 million on a waitress. Don't ask me how anyone could do that. But he does that. How he got the $8 million is kind of an epic story in of itself. But yeah, he just blows it all on a waitress, and then they have a big laugh about it. And that's the scene. This hit me so deep. I can't even put into words. I know a lot of people will be like, well, that's cheap. This is supposed to be an asexual character, and the guy doesn't even call himself asexual. They're saying they're doing representation, but they're really not. It's all covered. He didn't even call himself ace. It's just a publicity stunt. That's what it is. I disagree. I thought this was the best handled thing ever, and it hit on something that really happens in the asexual community. And that is that asexuality is so underrepresented and so ignored and so barely talked about and so little in media that you do have people that haven't heard about asexuality or haven't heard enough about asexuality to link it to themselves. you do have people like that. And when they realize that they're not sexual, they do have to just kind of sit down and try to describe what they are and try to figure it out and try to put the pieces together. Todd is closeted. He's asexual, and he's a closeted asexual, but he's not closeted because of bigotry. He's not closeted because he has a family that doesn't support him. He's not closeted because he has a great job and he's afraid his boss might fire him if the boss finds out he's queer. That's not why he's closeted. He's closeted because he never heard of asexuality, or if he did hear of it, he didn't hear enough of it to relate it to himself. That's why he's closeted. He is closeted because of lack of information. And I actually have a character that says, that is trying to describe their sexuality but doesn't know the proper words or context, and is just trying to do it the best they can, is really real. Like, I was closeted for a super long time. Simply because of lack of information. And I gotta tell you, that conversation in the diner of him saying, "I'm nothing, is that okay?" That's a real conversation. That is a conversation that people have had and people are going to have again. That hit home so hard for me. I ended that episode nearly in tears. It just like hit me right in the gut. That was just the most realist moment I've seen in a long time. So I've got to say, this has got to be one of the best asexual characters I've seen. I know there's not many, but my God, was this well done. Wow. And what's great about this is they can go to so many different places with the next season. Like, they literally have Todd now in a kind of relationship where he's kind of trying to be with this woman, but he doesn't know what his sexuality is, so he kind of has to figure it out, and they kind of have to talk it out and see how this relationship is going to work. So they're going to have an entire season of these two people talking out their sexualities, and you're going to get conversations that happen in the real world. They could touch on really cool stuff. They could put them in an open relationship if they wanted to. They could have Emily go out with other guys and have an open relationship, which is something that happens with a lot of asexual couples. Or they could not do that. There's so many different things they could do, and they have an entire season and maybe more to explore that. So it was just amazing. It was amazing to see this episode. It was amazing to have that thought process of, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he wasn't actually asexual. Maybe he's a different sexuality that probably the creators of the show never even heard of asexual. And then to Google it and then to find out that the creators' full intent all along was to make the character ace, and that's what they were going for, and this was the statement they were trying to make. Like, it was just good thing after good thing after good thing after good thing. Like, I can't put into words how awesome it was to see this character come out in this way, in this moment, in this scene. It just hit all the right beats. It just was fabulous. So, yeah, I know a lot of people watching my channel might not be ace and might not give a crap, but it hit me. It struck me really deep, and it was important to me, and I'm sure it's pretty important to some other people, to a lot of other people. So all I gotta say is, if you haven't seen BoJack Horseman before, and if you're asexual, you're gonna love it. But if you haven't seen BoJack Horseman before, and you're just, some regular person, you're gonna love it too. It's a great freaking show. And the fact that they handled this so freaking well. They've handled every topic really well, from abortion to online harassment to whatever they've decided to touch. They've handled it well. This show is like a show that just, it does what South Park tries to do. It takes all these serious issues, only it handles them really freaking intelligently and smartly, and always ends up saying these really profound things. And wow, I just want to shake the hands of everyone involved in this show. So it was an amazing episode. It was an amazing season. What they did with Todd was amazing. As for what's going to happen in season 4, go all out with it. Get Todd to go out and buy a sexual pride ring. Get Todd to go out and get a sexual pride flag and hang it in the house. Get Todd to have a coming out party. I want to see that. I want to see a literal coming out party and then have him try to explain what it's about and then have nobody else get it and have that being an ongoing joke. Like, just go all out. Just go all out. Just, the sky is the limit. I am so looking forward to season 4. I think it's going to be extraordinary. What they did here was really extraordinary. And I just had to talk about it. It was amazing. So if you saw season 3, if you saw this moment, did you even realize that was a asexual character? Did you even realize that was the commentary? I'd be interested to know how many people actually got it, because it is so underknown, it is so under talked about. But if you did get it, well, good for you, I suppose. And if you didn't get it, well, that's what was going on there. So great show. See it. Amazing. And yeah, Todd came out. Kind of, sort of, almost. Almost. But unbelievable in any case. I am really looking for season 4. Take care and cheers.